It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Oh yeah, baby. Hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Hello.
Here for a Tuesday. Got some follow-up comments. We were talking about what animal we most resemble. And some of the comments since we left the regular show is Dawn said, Kevin looks like a raptor with beady eyes.
A raptor?
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a ferret. Not insulting, but a ferret for me.
Well, that's just it. You have to go into that game knowing it's not insulting.
Yeah.
Everybody on the planet looks like an animal.
Okay.
Every single body does.
Yeah. I guess some animals would be more insulting than others, possibly. Sloth or raccoon also. Couple of comments for that.
Sloth kind of fucked up.
Sloth is adorable. Yes, he moves slow, and I don't think they mean that.
Yeah, it's just, I think, on your overall appearance.
The look of a sloth is really adorable.
Okay. So that's not insulting to you.
That's not
cute.
insulting at all. That's a compliment.
Mm-hmm. One person texted in from the 772 and said, Jaybird looks like Sid on Ice Age. Okay.
Let's see how insulting this
Ice Age is a cartoon.
Yeah. I don't, that feels like that might be a bit insulting.
All right, let me see what it looks
No,
like.
I think he's cute.
Sid?
Yeah,
how do you feel
that's
about that?
definitely insulting.
Okay, yeah, I thought so too. I thought that would not be a compliment. Yeah.
That shit don't look like me.
And somebody said Denny's is a capybara. Have you seen those? They've erupted in popularity. They're a cute little kind of chill animal. They
Yes.
are ferretish. No, kind of like more, I don't know, like maybe they'd be in the groundhog, I don't even know what family they would be in. Prairie dog, maybe.
Capybaras are very hot right now. My son wants to play with one so bad.
Yeah.
They're all over social media. Capybaras are very hot.
I can see Denny's as a few different animals. Sometimes he can look like a cat to me. Sometimes he can look like a frog.
Okay.
Denny's totally looks like a capybara.
Okay. That's cute. I mean, that's a good one.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, Denny's is adorable.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lori thinks that Virginia is a beautiful harpy eagle.
Oh.
Damn.
Caquah, bitches.
Okay.
America.
There you go.
Eagle.
No eagles like screech.
They are. They're not. They're.
Okay, it's very on brand.
Denny's is making a post, so you can go and leave your comments on who you think what animal we most resemble.
Kevin, you kind of look like a wombat.
Okay. I don't recall a wombat.
Look at this wombat and tell me that's not Kevin.
Think I'm wombatish?
He's a little wombatty.
Okay. All right. Wombat. Yeah, we'll roll with that. They're cute.
It's fun.
I like them. Yeah. We'll post that up, see what people got to say, and then we'll do a video where you can actually compare, see what it looks like. Nate thinks I'm a barn owl. Okay. Barn owl.
I can sometimes see
Yeah, I
you
can
as
see
a
flamingo
flamingo as well.
Me as a flamingo?
Yeah.
Bird-like?
If you lose weight, you're a flamingo. When you're meatier,
You have skinny legs.
when you're meatier, you're a silverback gorilla.
Yeah. It's been a while since them gorilla days.
Yeah, Gorilla Kev, I think you were just hurting yourself.
Lisa thinks my eyes are like a shark. Okay. They're black and soulless.
This game can get a bit insulting
A bit, yeah.
if you're not
It can.
careful.
It can. We got some questions here that people want to know. Like Maria said, I might have missed some episodes, but Virginia mentioned that she went to court because of Magnolia's bully. Can she explain a little more what happened and why she went to court for it?
Oh my gosh, it's a long story, but
Okay.
I guess the cliff notes, she had this shitty boyfriend. I mean, terrible, scumbag.
Yeah.
So she and the dirtbag finally broke up, thank God. And he got a new girlfriend. And then he would just instigate that new girlfriend of his to just randomly attack Magnolia when she was out. Like, They would find where she was on Snapchat based on who she was with. I mean, she went ghost on Snapchat, and they would just find her based on her friends. And this crazy bitch came to a Publix where Mags was just hanging out and tried to attack her there. Her and her older sister. The older sister could have gone to jail because she was over 18. But then they were out at the Jupiter Sandbar. Same stupid scumbag boyfriend and stupid girl who let this boy talk her into attacking Magnolia from behind at the sandbar, pulled her underwater by her hair. Mags didn't even see it coming. But, you know, she was like breathing air 1 minute and then the next minute breathing water. It's shocking to the system. But in that moment, you know, fight or flight, Mags chose to fight. So she came up out of the water and clocked this girl in the jaw. And, you know, unfortunately for this girl, Magnolia knows how to punch. And when you punch somebody, you punch through their face, which she did. So this dumb bitch went home to her dad and told her dad that Magnolia attacked her at the sandbar. Not true. Tons of witnesses. We got video. So they file a restraining order against Mags, which goes on your permanent record if granted by the court. So it's like, absolutely not. One of our friends knew a great attorney that was actually well-versed in restraining orders and how to fight your way out of one if you're accused of needing one. If someone accuses you of they need a restraining order against you, they better come to court with proof. She had zero proof. But it was pretty traumatic having to go to court and go through all that. And all these kids got on the stand. Some of them lied. The judge, luckily, did not believe them. They were like, you're high and you're lying. And the judge tossed it out and said, no, I'm not granting you a restraining order based on your unbelievable witnesses and all these lies. And then the video backed up what we said. So the judge dismissed it, and it was just a lot of bullshit for nothing.
Okay. So that was kind of how it all went down?
Yeah, but it was still pretty fucked up because we had to go to court. And it's nerve-wracking to go to court. And,
but it's behind you, and it leaves no remnants.
No remnants because the order of protection was not granted. And then, you know, we had to countersue them because that's what you have to do. When somebody hits you with the order of protection, you have to hit them with one. And then immediately when the judge dropped theirs and said, no, you're not getting it, we had to drop ours because I don't want to go back to court again. But we actually could have got an order of protection against this dumb hooker because she's the one that started the fight and we had it on video. But, I don't want to go back to court twice. Once was enough. So we dropped ours.
Okay. All right. So
it's a lot.
All right. So there you go. That is the short version of the story.
And fuck that family. If I ever see them out, fuck that family.
Okay. All right.
And she's still going.
Fuck all of them.
Story's not over yet.
A couple more in? Okay. And Lena here would like to get any updates on Vlad, the haunted doll. Bird?
He's not living his best life, but he's still around.
Is he degraded since coming back to your house?
He still looks good. Yep. I should do more with Vlad.
Yeah,
He's been neglected.
He's been neglected.
You're too busy building a cave in your closet and building a dedication room to a TV show that nobody knows about.
Whatever. People know about the Twilight Zone. They're old as fuck, but they know about it. That's the one thing I bring up on the air where motherfuckers just go, Bird, who gives a shit about the Twilight Zone?
I'm sure you've turned a few of them.
There's no way. I never get any good feedback.
Not one person is like, found it, loving it.
Not one text, not one email, not one comment.
I admire you that you just trudge on. Keep doing Twilight Zone content. I would do the same thing. Double down.
Yeah.
And Lewis from Gainesville said, hey, I was just getting caught up on the ATS, and I heard you talking about your syndication, and I honestly never knew there was that much more work that went into it. Jaybird mentioned the 11 people you had listening to you in Sarasota. Well, I was one of those people.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you.
I used to work for mosquito management and had to run around all morning picking up mosquitoes from different traps, and that's when I first found the KVJ show, and I've been listening ever since. My life has been forever changed by happening upon your show. Y'all make me laugh and smile every day, and I'm forever grateful for all the hard work you put in. Thank you. Jaybird, this show has made my life at least 1% better. Probably maybe 20%.
Wow,
That's very
20?
nice. Thank you.
Kind words.
That's
Dude,
very nice.
we got to buy you a beer.
Very nice, yes.
Is he still over there in Sarasota?
He's in Gainesville.
Gainesville.
Yeah. So the next time I roll through Gainesville, I will definitely take you out for a cerveza or whatever your beverage is.
I love when we go to other towns and do KVJ meetups. I'm going to be doing one in New Orleans for Mardi Gras if anybody wants to go.
You'll get people that show up. You always do.
I did. Last year, I made some lifelong friends. Last year, we went to the Panthers Stanley Cup parade together and partied all night.
Yeah, when we went to Ohio with your dad for
Yeah.
the Bigfoot Festival, we had a bunch of KVJ Nationers out there. It was great fun.
I love an out-of-town meetup.
I am going to Oklahoma City. I'll throw out a rando there. Is there any KVJ Nationers in Oklahoma City?
I bet there is.
I love it, Kevin.
I'll see, yeah, because I think I'm going to have some time.
You're going next week.
Yep.
What's that area like? A place I've never even sniffed.
Never.
When I was moving cross country from New York City to California, my dad and I had driven, packed up everything that I owned, which was not a lot, in my car, and we drove out there, and we stopped in Oklahoma City because my buddy Dylan, who's now in Boston, he was doing nights in Oklahoma City. We were young.
On the
and-
radio.
Yep. He was doing nights on the radio at the big flame-throwing top 40 station that was there.
Okay.
And we went out. He took me to a club, I think in Bricktown in Oklahoma City. We met a couple ladies.
Oh.
And
Bricktown ladies bring that heat.
yeah, we spent the night. I remember we went to their airport and we're hanging out there, just kind of doing.
Did you land a plane?
Did
So to
not
speak?
land the plane. We hung out. We had a good time with them. I remember they're relatively attractive, and it was a good fun night. My buddy Dylan, he has had a way with the ladies.
He's a hound.
So,
Yeah.
Kevin definitely didn't have sex, but I am sensing a bit of a fingering, maybe.
It was definitely second base at least.
Yeah,
no
fingering?
I don't remember. I do not recall a lot of carnal activity.
Okay, Bill
I don't
Clinton.
recall.
I don't recall
Yeah.
sexual relations.
Did not have sexual relations.
Yeah.
That didn't sound convincing.
So we went through, but what I do remember, and I think it was December that I went through, I remember it was so cold, it was so windy, and I was so miserable. And so I need to really kind of like bring the heat because I need to turn around my impression of Oklahoma City. And I called my cousin. And I was like, hey, I know you do some business and you went through there. He's like, yeah, he's like probably the worst week of my life.
Oh, damn.
So I've got this is why I'm going in here with a little apprehension because it's my wife. She's doing a teacher convention. And I found out that radio picks better cities, at least ones that are a little bit more tropical. We're doing San Diego and we're doing Austin, and I found a lot more bar action. So if Oklahoma City is there, I need y'all to step up and show me that Oklahoma City is going to be an amazing time because right now I am a little concerned.
Are you getting anything in the comment section? Anybody from OK? Anybody saying at all they want to do a KVJ meetup in Oklahoma City?
Let me see. Oklahoma City, LOL. You lose a bet, Kev?
Oh, shit.
Only comments I'm seeing is people are offended that I use the word term fingering.
Yeah. Chicago Lulu says, sounds real boring, Kev. Yeah, so I've got to,
Oh, damn.
like I said, I'm not getting, right now out of the chute, I'm not getting a lot of positivity for Oklahoma City in February.
Shit.
And I'm sure in July it's a totally different, it's a different game.
We're talking teenage, though, right? Isn't that a tornado area?
Yes. Yeah, if you go Tornado Alley. Yeah, if you go up through there, because I had lived in Kansas City and I was kind of part of that. Yeah, Oklahoma up through Kansas and that area.
Tornadoes?
Tornado
that big
Alley.
bomb? The Oklahoma bomb? That's what I think of when I think of Oklahoma, that bomb.
Yeah, that's
We're not shocked.
yeah, that's not a big positive.
We knew you're going to make a left down Depression Boulevard eventually.
So terrible.
Yeah, somebody's saying, yeah, why would you have a convention there? I don't know. Like I said, I'm
It's
like,
probably because it was cheap.
Oklahoma City in February? Really?
It was probably bargain basement priced.
Yeah, so the one thing we are doing, I think it's next Wednesday night, the Miami Heat actually play the Thunder there. So we're going to a Heat game. So that's going to
Okay.
be cool. And then I think University of Oklahoma, they have a men's basketball game.
and we're going to go to that. So we've got, a couple things going on, but, my wife's going to be at the convention, and I've got to entertain myself for about 3 days.
All right. Well, that sounds like a sucky meetup. If you want to have a good meetup, meet me at Mardi Gras on Monday, March 3rd, 3 o'clock at the Three-Legged Dog in the French Quarter. That will not suck.
Wow, she's talking shit about your get together.
Well, I guess I kind of am too. No, trust me, I'm trying to.
Maybe somebody will come along and turn it around for you. Maybe something will happen.
That's what I'm hoping. I get a KVJ Nationer, a ringer in Oklahoma City that'll be like, all right, Kev, here's what you do. Even in the middle of a frigid afternoon in February in Oklahoma City, you can rage and have an amazing time in Oklahoma City. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope I come back and be like, guys, you would not believe it.
You're not, I don't think.
But we're going to keep hope alive.
Yeah, we'll keep hope alive.
We hope for you.
Man. We were talking earlier about this new Instagram Reels feature where you can see what your friends have liked. And Jordan said, yeah, that new Instagram feature where you can see what your friends and followers have liked is already happening. Yesterday, I was scrolling and watching Reels, and I saw some of the videos that friends had liked. I clicked on one of them, and it disgusted me so much that I've completely changed the way I think of this person.
Oh.
And now I've got some serious mixed feelings about this feature. Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
It is.
Right, exactly. I mean, there may be a lot of things and you're not thinking about it. You're clicking your likes or whatever because you want to increase the engagement. You're going, yeah, I agree with that. And you wouldn't want the whole world to know that you feel that way or that's what you're into.
There's nothing worse than accidentally liking a photo, especially the later in the night. And do you then unlike it? Does that bring more attention to it if someone sees you like something and then unlike it?
I don't know because I'm hoping that it just doesn't show up and they wouldn't know unless they're right there because there have been times where I hit like on something and I start thinking, you know what? No, somebody's going to take this a different way. They're going to screenshot it and be like, oh, guess who likes this? And so I try anything that I like, I try to be able to justify, be like, I like it and here's why.
I'm with you on that, man.
Yeah, because you never know. It can kind of get away from you.
I don't even know where to look on Instagram to see who has looked or not looked at stuff. Where do you even go for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to make it as an awareness for somebody that as you are kind of going through some of these social media platforms, you do have to be a bit mindful about what because you in the moment are going, yeah, I do like that. But no, just keep in mind, you're telling the whole world that you might like that.
That'd be so mortifying if you had a secret crush on somebody and they could tell how many minutes you watched their reels. They go, wow,
I know.
Kevin watched an hour and a half of my reels at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, because you're wearing a bikini. He like it.
Right.
But you just
oh my gosh, if that was completely out there, we're maybe going, oh, she is kind of hot. I'm gonna watch her for a second. And that was
Kevin, I've done that before. It's humiliating.
I actually just put the phone down and walked away.
And you can't say I didn't mean to do it.
I know.
Sure you didn't, buddy.
Yeah, you accidentally watched 25 of her videos.
You accidentally watched it.
Yeah.
And tugged it. It was all,
25 minutes, you know he tugged it.
Yeah.
That's what it would seem like.
That's why I just don't like all this kind of stuff because they keep doing all these things that are like, wait a minute, you're exposing me more and more. I don't know what to trust anymore.
I forget what one it was where I thought you could figure out if somebody was watching your videos or not.
I think that's what this is.
That's fucking terrible.
I think that's exactly what Kevin's talking about. You can see who has interacted with your videos.
That is just...
And I don't know how to look at it, but we hear it's out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just... that's why
Don't be looking at no shit that you wouldn't want your mama know you were looking at.
I know.
It's how
Keep
you
it
have
clean.
to. Yeah, it's how you have to approach your socials.
Keep it clean.
Don't get lazy. Don't forget about where you are and what you're doing.
But people will get mad at things you do like and don't like on social media. It becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Linda with a topic on some weird pizza cravings. She said, when I entered menopause, I started having weird cravings. One of them was mashed potatoes on pizza.
Whoa, that sounds like a Jaybird dish from heaven.
I like it.
She said, I would warm my pizza halfway, then spread the mashed potatoes on it like a thick layer of cheese. I'd finish cooking, then a minute or two under the broil. It is a great way to put on a pound or two, but you don't care.
He just got a potato boner.
That is what we call a snack boner.
Okay. That sounds good to you, huh?
Yes, I would
potatoes on
love
pizza?
a mashed potato pizza. Would just be good. You put that underneath the cheese, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
a gravy of sorts.
Yeah, thought. We were talking about a couple things this week. One was some of the eargasms that you have, or those little earworms, talking about how they've researched, and when they do brain scans, they see that sometimes the pleasure centers of the brain, when you hear a great song, is very equivalent to having an orgasm. Like, that's kind of cool. I mean, I do have to admit, there's sometimes I just hear a song, I'm like, oh, that is so good. It's just a different level. And Rosie was kind of asking her, she said, and I also have a song that's kind of in my head, and I want to know your thoughts. Are they a one-hit wonder? The song A Whisper to a Scream by the Icicle Works. Yeah, they are a one-hit wonder. That's a very solid song. Your husband Panda would know that, Virginia. You guys probably do not.
A whisper to a scream?
We are, na 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 na. A whisper to a scream. You know what? It was the new wave stuff in the 80s that everybody sounded British.
Okay, he does love that.
To a scream. Yeah,
He loves that
yeah.
Euro trash sound.
Yeah, that's what that was.
It
Yeah.
kind of sounds like you're doing Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, Wheel of Fortune theme? Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe you could do a mashup of Whisper to a Scream and the Wheel of Fortune theme. So it's all there if anybody wants to take that. Yeah, so Angie said that's no hit. Yeah, you could argue that it's an alternative hit. So sometimes when you say hit, you have to clarify the charts. There's a lot of things with music and clarification. I think it was an alternative hit back in the 80s. Probably did nothing on the mainstream charts.
Let me guess. They probably sang like this and they were very sad.
Yes. I'm sorry, but I said the right words to say. Do you know who sings that? You remember that song?
It sort of sounds familiar.
That's
but
the-
but I'm just thinking of the right words to
That's
say.
The Promise by Win and Rome. And
Yes.
they're a one-hit wonder. Yeah, you know what? The Whisper to a Scream is in that same thread.
Okay.
that promise
sound.
is a jam.
It is a
I
jam.
promise you I will. That's a great song.
Yeah,
That
it
is a
really
great
is.
song.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Let me see. I do like this. Some people coming for me about my opinions about Beyonce winning the Best Country Album at the Grammys.
Okay, they're giving it to you, Kev.
Yeah, I welcome it. Bring it. You know, I give you my opinion. You can give it right back to me. Heidi had said, I think she absolutely did deserve to win the award. It's just kind of like Taylor Swift. She went from country to pop music. You know, and Post Malone, yeah, he was rap. He's done country before. He became well known, and he did a country album, but he does many different collaborations and genres, so I think that Beyonce deserved it. Okay. Jeff in West Palm said, Beyonce winning the Grammy for Best Country Album was an upset win. If there aren't going to be upsets, then why even have judges? Just give the award to the album with the most sales and streams and be done with it. But that's not how award shows work. Sometimes the best album doesn't win, and controversy follows. It reminds me of when Macklemore won Best Rap Album over Kendrick Lamar in 2014. That was a huge upset. Kendrick's album was better. And as we've seen, he's still relevant, while Macklemore isn't in the conversation the same way. Yeah, that seems like that would be pretty whack as well. The Grammys doesn't always get it right, and history tends to prove it. Calling it bullshit was a little extra and seemed like old man on his porch.
But what if you identify as old man on his porch?
That's exactly who I am.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If that's what you are, that's what you are. Old man on porch gets to scream.
Yeah.
Old man on porch with microphone.
Yeah, and I think I do have a little bit of a better understanding because, yeah, I was just going on to me, and that was my opinion on somebody who's, I've listened to the Cowboy Carter album. I've listened to pretty much everything on F1 Trillion. And to me, liking country like I do, it was no question. But John Rich, he's from Big and Rich. He's a country guy. And he said, folks are asking me, how do music award shows work? Labels, publishers all have blocks of votes, and they make deals with each other. You vote for mine, we'll vote for yours, that type of thing.
Of course.
Yeah, he said it has zero to do with who made the best music. Thus, Beyonce with, Country Album of the Year. Yeah, the same thing is true with the CMAs, the ACMs, the Billboards. They all work exactly the same. So there you go. So that's kind of what it was.
John Rich, I believe he was on The Apprentice with Meatloaf, and Gary
Could have been.
Busey, and Gary Busey thought, I'm sorry, Meatloaf thought Gary Busey stole his paint for a project they were doing, and Meatloaf got so mad, screaming at Gary Busey, and the whole time he put the paint in the corner by himself and got it wrong, so he's screaming out for no reason. And Rich is trying to calm him down.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty good season.
Okay.
Gary Busey is a fascinating human.
That was quite the.
I am, if he's doing something, I am watching.
He was a good actor. I'm not saying he
Gary Busey?
Yes, absolutely.
I like him more as himself.
Oh, right.
That to me is the more fascinating character development.
So after all that, I still retain that I think F1 Trillion's a better country album, but I do understand how Beyonce could have gotten the win. So
We know it's politics,
Yeah.
but you don't have to like it.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's just it. I'll leave it at that and be like, okay, I think maybe I understand the process a bit more. And kind of assumed that, though, too, with Jay-Z. And I think he had some feels about, his wife deserved more Grammys and should have won that. And he probably used his leverage in the way that he was talking about and made it happen.
Also, too, you're allowed to have your own opinion.
Absolutely. And that was it. That was my opinion. And Sean, good email, because I had an opinion, and Sean kind of came for me on that. And it was a good back and forth we had. But he said, I'm glad we could have a logical conversation about a topic without it getting out of hand. It's funny how something can come full circle, because I recall years ago, the 2020 stuff was going on, and you would say something along the lines of, people should try to have a calm conversation about a disagreement without it getting too emotional and turning into a fight. I've tried to improve my communication skills through that line you said, and it's made so much sense, but yet was a simple statement. I also carried that with me in my personal and professional life. And so, we had a good spirited back and forth, and, through it all, I got to say he shifted my opinion a bit. So that's why I like having those kind of discussions, because I can learn from it and may see things a little bit differently. So thank you, Sean, for calling me on my shit and having a back and forth with me.
Kevin is the most reasonable. He's the most open to you calling him out on his shit. Me and Jay Bird, a little different sometimes.
It depends on the day.
Depends on how you catch us. You might catch me in a wrong kind of mood, and I will unleash.
That's right. Well, I think you're like a majority of people.
You never know what the fuck you're gonna get.
And I like it that way.
Yeah, I like being unpredictable.
That's it. It makes it more exciting.
Don't come for me, bro.
Yeah, or if you do, be ready to dance, bitch.
Guadalupe sent this to us, and she said, Kev, on the podcast, you had mentioned that you hadn't heard about deportations of people that didn't have criminal records. I just kind of added that in there to clarify what my statement was about that. She said, but ask about it in the Treasure Coast. At the very least, they have entire families worried about being separated, and my heart does go out, because I know that is a real thing going on in our community right now, and I do have sympathy for that. The news has been showing a lot of places that are vacant. People are just afraid to go out. I can't imagine living through that, and so I'm trying to keep an eye on the news and how they're covering it and exactly who is getting rounded up by ICE and going home and the reasons why. And so I hope that what they are saying, these are people that have criminal records and have come here and have broken the law outside of just being in the country illegally. Because I know some people are saying, well, if you're here in the first place and you're breaking the law. But to me, I think most of Americans, and according to the study that I read that day, 82 or maybe 84% of us, yes, if you are here undocumented and you have broken a pretty good law, not jaywalking or anything simple like that, but some of these things were drug arrests and of that level, then that's what it is. So yeah, I'm trying to stay up on that. And Anna said you can go online to ICE and they update the numbers. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that. If you guys have any insight into that, I am hoping that this process is done the right way. And I understand the concern in the community about it. So trying to stay up on it. So help me out. Thank you, Guadalupe, for the email. So trying to do that. Trying to talk about it correctly. I know it's a very tense thing that is happening. It affects so many people here in South Florida. So we will stay up on that as much as we can. Ryan from Lake Worth Beach always has some interesting things, and he said we're a little bit over halfway through the school year, and I've got some useful advice for anybody in high school who might be struggling with their grades, that is over the age of 18 or who is about to turn 18. You can request a schedule change at your school's main office for better teachers, and they have to, by law, honor it. Your grade will automatically reset from F's to A's since you technically did not do any of the work for that class yet.
What?
What?
That does not feel real.
It
That
sounds
does
made
not.
up. But
Also, you should drop any classes you don't need for graduation so you can leave school early. It's nice leaving after lunch and getting home before everyone else. Most electives are completely pointless for the second half of the year, especially if it's not carrying credits over to your college or university. Okay, the schools don't want you to know this because they lose funding each time a student drops a class or switches schools or drops out. And he said, I dropped out of high school right before Christmas break of my senior year because my report card was 5 F's and 2 A's. I actually had my economics teacher fail me because I wrote on an essay test in December of 2006 that it was possible for the price of crude oil per barrel to reach a negative number. I explained why, and he screamed at me in front of the entire class and said it's impossible and tore up my paper. Got an F. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not know all that kind of stuff. And he said, honestly, most college degrees are useless in South Florida. I work in the Brickell Business District, and 9/10 of the people there get their position from knowing the right person, sleeping with the right person, or partying with the right person.
yeah, I look back on getting my college degree and thinking that was a waste of money. But I spent a lot of money on college, and I did it because I wanted to play baseball. But then after I didn't play anymore, I wanted to at least try to finish, and it was a lot of fucking money, man.
Yeah, it is.
But it's an accomplishment, too. I mean, you can be proud that you did it. You got the certificate.
But I just wish it would have been worth it. I wish I would have learned more because towards the end, I did want to learn. And some teachers were good at teaching, but then some you just go, all right, they're clearly just going through the motions.
Yep.
And there was a lot of weird electives in college. I was telling you about the aging and dying class.
Yeah, right. There
Monday
are some
night,
others, yeah.
7 p.m., aging and dying.
Yeah.
It was so depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, they always had those. I had a sports and movement class because I thought it was going to be all about like fun baseball stuff. And it was not. It was more about movement, and it was very boring, and it was terrible, and it was hard, and I think I failed it.
Yes, they did it. There was my freshman year, they had a baseball class, but it was taught by the softball coach, and he was kind of a dick about making it hard for the baseball players.
Yeah, I had some baseball buddies in college, same thing. They took a class on baseball, and it was really boring, minutia, and I think they all failed it.
Yeah. What was the stat in 1932?
Yeah, and they had to run their ass off because the baseball coach was like, you failed a baseball class? It looked worse. Carmen said, I always love listening to you guys in the morning, and I'm on my way to work at the post office. But I got to tell you, my last day was yesterday, and I'm just picking up my stuff. It is a new chapter in my life after 20 years, and now I can relax and listen to KVJ every day. That's awesome, Carmen.
I love it.
Gosh, it's got to be a good feeling, huh? Just to be like, you know what? What happens with my time, I now choose.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Good for you. All right, got any other comments? Want to challenge me on my shit? I'd love to hear it. Bring it, baby. Let's have that spirited discussion. Mail at kvjshow.com. You can always get a hold of us here. Thank you for checking it out. Click that like button if you would. It helps out. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.